Maybe someone insists on helping you with your groceries, even when you didn't ask. Or maybe you've been in a group conversation and folks seem to skip over you, like you weren't even there. If that's ever happened to you, you're not imagining it. But here's something surprising I've learned from Dr. Robert Collins, who spent over 40 years working with older adults. It's not just your age that changes how people respond to you. It's often the subtle little habits we pick up without even realizing it. Today, Dr. Collins is walking us through 6 of those common habits that can unintentionally make us seem older or even less approachable. But here's the good news. Every single one of them can be adjusted with simple changes. And this isn't about hiding your age, not at all. It's about showing up as the vibrant, wise, and fully engaged person you are and making sure the world sees you that way too. Let's start with the first habit, and it's one that surprises a lot of people. 1. Speaking habits that can age you. You might not expect this, but how you speak can affect how people see you more than you think. Dr. Collins says one of the most common things he notices is people raising their voice in regular conversation, without even realizing it. It often starts with minor hearing loss, nothing major at first, just enough that you might not hear your own volume. So, you start speaking louder. Then maybe you begin missing little cues, like when someone else is about to talk. And next thing you know, you're interrupting people or taking over the whole conversation. Now imagine how that looks from the outside. Someone hearing you from across the room might think, "Why is this person yelling? Or do they even notice I'm talking?" Without meaning to, you might come across as aggressive or out of touch, and that's not who you are at all. Take Richard, a 78-year-old, retired school principal. He thought of himself as a great communicator until his granddaughter asked him why he was always shouting. That one question led him to get his hearing checked. Sure enough, he had moderate hearing loss he didn't know about. Once he adjusted, something shifted. He got his hearing aids tuned in and practiced waiting a couple of beats before replying. During conversations, and guess what? His family said it felt like the old Richard was back. So if you're noticing more, moments or people pulling away during conversations, it might be time for a quick hearing check. Many local centers offer them for free, and you'd be surprised how much more connected you feel once you're tuned in again. And if hearing's not the issue, just a small pause, 2 or 3 seconds, before jumping in with your thoughts, can make your conversations feel more balanced and engaging. It's not about talking less, it's about connecting more. 2. Your posture tells a story. What's yours saying? Let me ask you something. How's your posture right now? Are you sitting up, or are your shoulders curled forward like you've been carrying the weight of the world? It might sound simple, but the way you carry yourself tells others a lot, sometimes more than your words ever could. Dr. Collins calls posture the unspoken introduction. Before you open your mouth, people are already reading your body. If you're hunched over, arms crossed, moving slowly or dragging your feet, it can give the impression that you're tired, unsure, or even fragile, even when you're not. Margaret, who's 83, shared a story with us. She couldn't figure out why everyone kept offering her help in places she didn't need it, like reaching for things at the store or getting into her car. It wasn't until her daughter showed her a candid photo from the grocery store that she saw it. She was hunched, folded into herself, almost hiding. Now that posture didn't match who Margaret was inside, strong, capable, sharp as ever. But the message her body was sending said something else, and here's the beauty of it. Just like a habit is learned, it can be unlearned. One of the simplest things you can do is what physical therapists call the wall check. Stand against a wall with your heels, your bottom, your shoulders, and the back of your head touching it. Breathe deeply. Feel what that upright position feels like. Just 30 seconds, a few times a day, can help retrain your body. Even when you walk, imagine a string pulling the top of your head upward, not stiff, just tall and open. And when you're in conversation, turn your whole body toward the person, not just your head. That tiny shift can make you appear more engaged and confident instantly. Margaret said that after just a few weeks of working on her posture, she noticed people started treating her differently, more like a peer and less like someone in need of help. You see, posture isn't just about standing tall, it's about standing in your own presence. And when you do that, others can't help but take notice. 3 small grooming habits that make a big difference. Now let's talk about something we often don't even notice slipping, our grooming routines. And no, I don't mean going out and getting a makeover or trying to look 30 again. That's not what this is about. It's about staying in touch with the small habits that help you feel like your best self, whatever age you are. Dr. Collins says this is one of the first things people let go of without realizing it. Maybe we stop trimming those stray eyebrow hairs. Maybe we stick with the same haircut for 20 years, even though our hair has changed texture or thickness. Or maybe we don't realize how those little things, like long fingernails or dry skin, can quietly signal to others that we're slowing down. And here's the thing, people often don't mention it, but they do notice. James, a 75-year-old, retired accountant, told me that after his wife passed away, he just kind of let things slide. He didn't think it mattered. But his daughter finally invited him to go to the barber together, and that small nudge changed everything. The barber gave him a fresh trim, shaped up his beard, and helped him choose a new style that worked better with the hair he had. James said it was the first time in years he looked in the mirror and thought, "Yeah, that looks like me." And the reaction? People started treating him differently. A neighbor who usually just waved started chatting. A woman at his coffee group actually sat next to him for the first time in months. That's how powerful these little changes can be. Dr. Collins recommends making a simple weekly checklist. Nothing complicated, just reminders like check eyebrows. For those sneaky long ones, trim and clean fingernails, moisturize dry skin, especially on the face and hands. Look at your haircut. Does it still fit you? And for those with facial hair, keeping it shaped and tidy goes a long way. It's not about trying to impress anyone. It's about showing yourself that you're still present, still taking care of who you are. And when you send that message, the world reflects it right back at you. So today, just take a few extra minutes in front of the mirror. What's one small grooming habit you could bring back or improve that helps you feel more like you? Because confidence doesn't come from looking young. It comes from showing up for yourself, completely intentionally and with care. 4. What your clothes might be saying without you realizing it. Let's talk about something that greets the world before we ever open our mouths. What we wear. Now, before you think this is about chasing fashion trends or dressing like someone half your age, let me stop you right there. That's not the point at all. This is about making sure your clothes reflect who you are now, strong, engaged, and full of life. Dr. Collins sees this all the time. Many of us hold on to clothes that we've had for years, sometimes decades. They were comfortable, they were our favorites, and maybe they still fit, sort of. But here's the thing, clothing that's stretched out, faded, or just not cut, for the body we have today, can send a message we don't intend to send. Patricia, a 72-year-old retired teacher, told me she wore her go-to pantsuit to her granddaughter's graduation. It was her lucky outfit. She'd had it for over 15 years, but when she saw herself in the photos later, she was stunned. The fabric had faded, the shoulders sagged, and the cut didn't flatter her shape anymore. She looked and felt older than she actually was. That moment sparked a change. Her daughter helped her pick out just a few simple pieces, clothes that fit well, had some fresh color, and reflected how vibrant she felt on the inside. She didn't spend a fortune, just focused on quality over quantity. And here's the fun part. When she wore her updated wardrobe to her weekly bridge game, her friends actually asked if she'd been on vacation. One even said she looked rested and refreshed. That's what the right clothes can do. They help your outside match your inside. Dr. Collins recommends starting with a small capsule wardrobe, just a few well-fitting basics in colors that brighten your face and fit the body you have right now, not the one you had 20 years ago. Here are a few easy ideas. Replace stretched-out waistbands or saggy collars. Choose breathable, natural fabrics that move with you. Update accessories like a fresh pair of glasses or a brighter scarf. And most of all, make sure your clothes fit properly. Clothes that are too big can actually make you look smaller and more fragile. Remember, this isn't about trying to impress anyone. It's about showing that you're still showing up for life, for yourself, and for others. So take a look at your closet. What's one item you can update or swap that makes you feel like you again? Even the smallest shift can change how others see you and how you see yourself. 5. How we talk can make us seem older, even when we're not. Now this one's a little tricky because it's not always easy to spot in ourselves, but how we talk, what we say, and how we say it can either invite connection or unintentionally push people away. Dr. Collins calls this the grumpy filter. And believe it or not, it can sneak up on anyone. Over time, we can get into the habit of focusing on what's wrong, complaining about aches and pains, criticizing younger generations, or constantly comparing the present to the good old days. It's not that we're wrong, it's just that if every conversation starts with a complaint or a negative comment, people start to tune out, especially younger folks. Robert, a 77-year-old retired engineer, told us about a moment that really made him reflect. He'd been going on about how kids today don't talk anymore, they just stare at screens. His teenage grandson looked up and asked, "Grandpa, is there anything you actually like about today?" That one hit him hard. And honestly, haven't we all been there at some point? The good news is, this is totally changeable. And it doesn't mean pretending everything's fine when it's not. It just means bringing a little more balance and maybe even curiosity into the conversation. Dr. Collins suggests a simple shift. Before you share a criticism or frustration, pause and ask yourself, is there something positive I can also share? Or flip the conversation by showing interest. Instead of saying, "I don't understand this new music," try, "Tell me what you like about it, I'm curious." You'd be amazed at how that one small shift opens up dialogue and respect. Robert started practicing something he called his 3 good things. Every day he'd notice 3 small positives: a beautiful sunrise, a good cup of coffee, a friendly chat with the neighbor. It didn't take long before those things started showing up in his conversations too. And the result? His family started calling more often, neighbors lingered longer, and he told us, "I feel younger, not because I am, but because I'm living younger." You don't have to be endlessly cheerful, but when you choose to bring more appreciation into your words, people feel it, and they respond. Take a moment and think, what's something today that made you smile, even just a little? Start there. That small story might just be the most refreshing thing someone hears all day. 6. The one hygiene detail no one tells you, but everyone notices. This one's sensitive, but incredibly important. And here's why. When it's overlooked, it can quietly push people away without a single word being spoken. I'm talking about hygiene blind spots. More specifically, things like body odor or bad breath that we may not even realize are happening. Dr. Collins puts it gently, most people won't tell you directly. They'll just stand a little farther away or wrap up a conversation sooner than they normally would. Now, this isn't because anyone's being rude. It's just tough to bring up, even for the people who care about us the most. But here's the thing. As we age, our bodies change in ways that naturally make hygiene a bit more complicated. For example, our sense of smell becomes less sensitive, so we might not notice subtle changes in our own scent. Dry mouth, often caused by medications, can lead to bad breath. And even our skin chemistry changes, which can make odors linger longer on clothes or skin than they used to. Elizabeth, an 80-year-old retired librarian, had no idea this was happening to her. But one day, her daughter gently said, "Mum, maybe try using a little mouthwash before book club today." It stung at first, but she took the advice. She saw her dentist, who explained that her medication was reducing her saliva. They found some simple fixes: staying hydrated, using alcohol-free mouthwash, keeping sugar-free mints nearby. And guess what happened? People started sitting closer again. They leaned in. They lingered longer. Elizabeth said, "It was like someone flipped a switch. I felt comfortable again." Dr. Collins reminds us this isn't about vanity. It's about connection, because when people feel physically comfortable around us, they engage more, they stay longer, they talk deeper. Here are a few simple ways to stay ahead of these blind spots. Stay hydrated. Dry mouth is sneaky but common. Switch to a gentle mouthwash, the kind made for dry mouth without alcohol. Check your laundry routine. Clothes might need a little more frequent refreshing, even if they look clean. Stick with breathable fabrics like cotton. And most importantly, ask someone you trust if there's anything you might be missing. It takes courage, but it can change everything. Elizabeth told us, "After that one small change, my granddaughter started hugging me longer again. That meant more to me than anything else in the world." If you're unsure whether this applies to you, just take it as a loving nudge, because when you feel fresh and confident, it shows, and others feel it too. We've just walked through 6 habits that can quietly make us seem older than we feel, even when we're still full of energy, ideas, and a desire to connect. But here's the most important thing I hope you take away from all this. Every one of these habits is changeable. They're not permanent. They're not who you are, they're just patterns, and once you see them, you can shift them. This isn't about pretending to be younger than you are. It's about showing up fully as yourself, with all the wisdom, warmth, and life experience you've earned, without letting a few unconscious habits get in the way of how others connect with you. So, what will you try first? Maybe it's standing a little taller when you walk into the store. Maybe it's freshening up your grooming routine. Maybe it's catching yourself before a complaint and choosing curiosity instead. Whatever it is, I hope you notice what happens next. Not just how others respond to you, but how you start to feel about yourself again. You're not invisible. You're not irrelevant. You're still becoming, and you have so much more to share. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you're changing, or even what you've already changed, and how it's made a difference in your life. And as always, if this was helpful, feel free to like the video and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and stay connected.